is it Memorex? It's not Memorex. It's live. Or my other phone. Might revisit something I did the other night. And I might not. I'll talk for a little bit while people are theoretically getting on here. What a mess. What a mess this world is in. I wonder who began it. Don't ask me, I'm only visiting this planet. Yeah, a little bit on memory, how you can memorize things. And Louis L'Amour talks about this in a lot of his Western novels, but in this series of books about the Sackett, tongue-tied. I forgot to do my tongue exercises. You speak with forked tongue, twisted tongue. I know a guy that has a twisted tongue, oh my gosh. Anyway, shut up. Okay, so by remembering one word, you can remember a whole stanza. Once you memorize a stanza, you never will forget it. It's like riding a bicycle, you're never going to forget it. So, 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, etc., etc., etc. You can just rote memory. There's something to be said for that. Understanding it is better, but don't get off on bunny trails here. Okay, my bunny trail is memorization. There's a hymn, a hymn. God moves in mysterious ways. Okay, so I'll rattle off my little first words of each verse. God, deep ye judge his blind unbelief. So that's God, ye judge his blind unbelief. 7 stanzas. Pretty easy to memorize. And the Bunyan poem I did the other night is basically the same thing. I think it's about to get 7 stanzas. So pretty cool. I'll go into that in a minute if I get to it. Okay, so God, deep he judges and blind unbelief. Okay, so God moves in a mysterious way his wonders to perform. He plants his footsteps in the sea and rides upon the storm. Rich Mullins said, our God is an awesome God. There's thunder in his footsteps and lightning in his fists. Our God is an awesome God. Okay, so moving right along. Deep in unfathomable minds of never failing skill, he treasures up his bright designs and works his sovereign will. Okay. Ye fearful saints, fresh courage take. The clouds ye so much dread are big with mercy and will break in blessings on your head. Blind unbelief is sure to err, go in error, and scatter his work in vain. God is his own interpreter, and he will make it plain. Trust him. Be still and know that I am God. Mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, they shall walk and not faint. Teach me, Lord, to wait. Okay, so blind unbelief is sure to err and scan his work in vain. God is blind unbelief is the last verse. Okay, so God moves deep in the unfathomable minds. Ye fearful saints, judge not the Lord. His purposes will ripen fast, unfolding every hour. The bud may have a bitter taste, but sweet will be the flower. I think I missed that one. So God, deep ye judge his purposes. Blind unbelief was sure to err and scan his work in vain. God is his own interpreter, and he will make it plain. Now, I thought there were 7. God, deep ye judge his blind unbelief. Okay, 6 stanzas. So the Bunyan poem, very similar, would go, let me get it blue out so I can read a little bit better. A tinker mapped all enemy divisions. Likewise, Emmanuel's vanguard. Now a peddler from a hovel. Okay. So, a tinker out of Bedford, that's where the little town he lived in, a vagrant, a homeless man, a vagrant, a wandering stranger, a vagrant often quad in prison, a minister, a soldier under Fairfax, a minister of God. He was forced recruited into the army during the Puritan era when I think when Cromwell was doing his thing. Anyway, Oliver Cromwell, for those who don't know. So, good movie about him with Peter O'Toole, I believe, plays him. Oh, come on. Okay, so. A tinker out of Bedford, a vagrant often quad, a soldier under Fairfax, a minister of God. 200 years and 30 ere Armageddon came, his single hand portrayed it, and Bunyan was his name. This is a very high tribute from a man who would have been the poet laureate of England. He would have been the national poet of England, you know, like approved by the Queen, except he wrote a poem about the Queen, and then he got in big trouble for that, so she didn't like him. So that went by the wayside. But he wrote so many things. I have two different sacks. One is about 20 volumes of his poetry and writings. You know, he wrote Gunga Din. You may talk at gin and beer when you quartered safe out here and you're sent to penny fights, all their shot it. But when it comes to slaughter, you'll do your work on water and you'll lick the blooming boots of him that's got it. Now in India's sunny clime, when I used to spend my time, a servant of Her Majesty the Queen, of all them black lace crew, the finest man I knew was a regimental beastie, Gunga Din. Bill and I can quote that. It would be cool if we did it, you know, me do a verse, he responds, and we should do that. Okay, Bunyan was the name. A tinker he mapped for those who followed the world in which we are. This famous town of Mansell that takes the holy war. Her true and traitor people, the gates along her wall, from Highgate unto Fieldgate, John Bunyan showed them all. Okay, that's interesting. All enemy divisions, recruits of every class, and highly screened positions for flame or poison gas. The craft that we call modern, the crimes that we call new, John Bunyan had them typed and filed in 1682. Likewise, the lords of looseness that hamper faith and works, the perseverance doubters that present comfort shirks, brittle intellectuals who crack beneath the strain. I got too many of them around. John Bunyan met that helpful set in Charles II's reign. Ambient light. Better, okay. Deborah Perry, hey there. Hey G. Emmanuel's vanguard dying for right and not for rights, my Lord Apollyon lying to the state kept Stockholm. The Pope, the swithering neutrals, the Kaiser and his God. John Bunn, their roles, their goals, their naked souls. He knew and drew the lot. Now he hath left his quarters in Bunhill Fields to lie. The wisdom that he taught us is proven prophesy. One watchword through our armies, one answer from our lands. No dealings with Diabolus as long as man's soul stands. A peddler from a hovel. I say hovel because it rhymes with novel, but it's technically pronounced hovel, Huvel. I had tried it 30 times, you know, hit the little thing, say it, corrected me, say it again, corrected me, say it again, corrected me. I don't know if it ever did. I never did get it right, according to how it was listening to me. But anyway, a peddler from a hovel, the lowest of the low, the father of the novel, salvation's first defoe. Eight blinded generations ere Armageddon came. He showed us how to meet it, and Bunyan was his name. Okay, so, and kind of what I'm talking about there is the holy. Interesting that came up. It just struck me, and I told the story the other night. I brought that up because that man was raised in a hovel, a filthy little hut, and his entire life as an adult as a growing up man, raising a family. He had a beautiful book. I have a hardback copy of Blind Mary. Mary Bunyan, yeah, his blind daughter. Um, just heartrending story. But anyway, he had a blind daughter, and they were very poor, very miserable. Not miserable. They were happy. They had more joy than you and I have. But I'm thinking of Jacqueline over there. Please pray for her. She's in such hard, difficult straits and has been, and has been through more suffering than any 100 people that I know, all put together. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna start reading. Anyway, Holy War, and that's what this is about. This book is basically a modern John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress and Holy War kind of combined in one. These books, okay, 8, 9 books, how many there are? If there are more, there were 8, 9. I think there were 9. I remember the one, Runaway Parents, and that book really spoke to me because one of the last books, if it's not the last book, the 9th one, the Runaway Parents. They found out that all the years later, throughout this whole book series, John finds out that his parents hadn't gotten killed in a car accident; they ran away. They had a very harrowing, deadly experience. Their car was mangled like it was run through a shredder. So they found the car, but they never found the bodies, and they never found their Spirit Flyer bicycles either. They had ridden away from the whole thing, and were hiding out in, I don't remember where, but anyway. They come back. They were off on some adventure, some crazy adventure. I think there was a circus involved, I don't remember. But my point is this, that when they came back, John, who was their son, and who had every reason to be very angry with them and very hurt by them and very upset with them, still admired them and still honored them. And I'm just kind of hard to say that without getting kind of choked up, because my children, most of my children, do not honor me at all. They say, yeah, I love you, but I mean, it's just difficult to deal with, especially my one, what the rich widow lady says, described as my prodigal son. The one that should be helping me the most is prodigal. Okay, anyway, with that all being said, the Holy War around town. Here we go. Sorry, apologize for that. Chapter 2. I got both hands on deck, or control of the book. I'm going to go ahead and show you the picture. The one picture in this chapter is a picture of him, Daniel Bailey, stopping at Goliath Industries and looking at the place. No trespassing. Barbed wire, not concertina, but high barbed wire facing out so people can't crawl in. Big ugly smokestacks, and they show them in here bellowing smoke out. I don't think in the book notice that in the story when I read that part. I don't think the thing is operating right now. Anyway, all right, bingo. Where are we? Around town. I don't even know. This doesn't have a counter, so I can't tell how long I've been talking. Blathering. Maybe I should just do another one. Nah. I'll call this one intro, yeah. Let me do that. I'm going to check and see who's on. And I'm going to get right back on, so don't go away. Because I got it all set up. I can do that really easily. I saw Gaddy Ann was on. Deborah. Come on. Sir Tom was great. Tom was great. Sir Tom was great. Who's Tom? Tom was great. Hiya, Deb. Hey, Holy War. Holy, yeah, we're Holy at War, yeah. Solar Hive. Solar Hive, if you're Jim, let me know. This is Solar SBI. I'm hoping you'll come by and visit me sometime. You're going to come by when that job was done up in the People's Republic of Illinois and bring some solar panel, a couple solar panels or so. And I'd like you to talk to Bill about getting set up here totally on solar, because he could do it. He just spent $2,500 on some stuff. I don't know if you would think it's good or not. Blue Eddy and a couple panels, $2,500. Seems kind of steep to me. All right, good night. I'm going to come right back on, so don't go away. Oh, Deborah, I missed her.